Hi, welcome to SGT University. I am Dr. Ashok Yadav, Faculty of Agriculture Sciences. Today we are learning about the breeding of Aonla. Aonla Umbellica officinalis or Indian gooseberry is indigenous to the India subcontinent. Aonla Umbellica officinalis, also known as the Indian gooseberry, is said to be indigenous to the tropical Southeast Asia, particularly in the central and southern India. India ranks first in the world in area and production of the crops. Apart from the India, naturally growing trees are found in the different parts of the world like Sri Lanka, Cuba, Puerto Rico, USA, Florida, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, China, Malaysia, Bhutan, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Trinidad, Panama and Japan. The description of the Aonla is a deciduous tree of the family Phyllantheraceae. It has edible fruit referred to by the same name. The tree is small to medium in size, ranging in 1 to 8 meter height. The branches are not glabrous or finely pubescent, 10 to 20 centimeter long, usually deciduous. The leaves are simple, subsessile and closely set along the branch dates, light green resembling pinnate leaves. The flower of Aonla are greenish yellow. The fruit is nearly spherical, light greenish yellow, quite smooth and hard on appearance, with 6 vertical strips or furrows, ripening in autumn. The berries are harvested by the hand after the climbing to upper branches bearing the fruits. The taste of Indian Umbellic is sour, bitter or astringent, and it is quite fibrous. Aonla tree has two types of shoots, the indeterminate and determinate. The indeterminate shoots are longer and attain fresh growth in the season and do not bear flower, while determinate shoots are come at the nodes of indeterminate shoots and number varies from 3 to 5 depending upon the genotype. Determinate shoots bear very small reduced closely arranged leaves, giving the impression of the pinnately compound leaves. Bearing behavior of the Aonla as shown in the Chakaya started bud initial in the first week of April. The newly emerged shoot attain a length of 4 to 7 cm with an average length of 4.3 cm. It produced flower in cluster of an average of 165.6 flower per determinate shoot with the sex ratio of 162.20:1. In Narendra Aonla 7 produced flower in second week of April and the length of the shoot varied from 6 to 20 cm with an average length of 18.20 cm. Determinate shoot bear samules of male flower at the lower side of the stem and samules of one female flower on the upper portion of the stem. The bearing shoots produce an average of 128 flowers per bearing shoots. It produced male and female flower in the ratio of 70.50:1. The flower bud development of Aonla is of morphological characters of buds in different stages of development for Chakaya and Narendra Aonla 7 are discussed below. Stage 1, at the stage the bud were very small, round in shape, completely covered with the calyx tube. The size and length of the bud can't be recorded due to very small in size. Stage 2, as the bud entered the stage, these slightly enlarged, although it looked round the shape. Stage 3, the flower bud further enlarged and became pinkish cream in color. The calyx tube of the bud showed cracking. Stage 4, in all calyx started to open. Stage 5, the petals pushed apart, exposing the stamens and stigma, and finally the tube reached the full bloom stage. The total time required for the flower bud to reach the anthesis was 17.7 days in Chakaya and 14.6 days in the Narendra Aonla 7. Time and duration of flowering in Aonla. The data is shown that the Chakaya flowering started from the first week of April and total flowering period was recorded to the 31 days. Full bloom 75% flowering reached at 18 days after the first flowering initiation. In case of Narendra 7, flowering started during the second week of the April and continued for 32 days. Full bloom took place of the 16 days after the initiation of the first flower. Anthesis in Aonla, main period of the anthesis in Chakaiya and Narendra 7 under the Srinagar Garhwal condition have been recorded between 6 to 4 pm with peak period 82.21% in Chakaiya and 77.23% in Narendra 7 between 6 to 8 am and minimum between 6 pm 4 to 6 pm in both cultivar. Mode of dehiscence of anther in Aonla, the cultivar under investigation. The dehiscence of anther started just after opening of the flower. The anther losses started rusting longitudinally. All the anthers of the flower did not dehisce synchronously. Some of these started to dehisce just after opening of the flower, whereas others did so later in days. It took about 10 to 15 minutes for the complete dehiscence. The flower of Aonla is pentamerous actinomorphic with developed through the superior ovary, the arising from the determinate shoot from the leaf axil. Cultivars of the Aonla. Chakaiya, it is a prolific wearer. The fruit are flat with smooth skin which is greenish in color. Fruit are small to medium in size, weighing 26 gram, having a TSS of 10.7 bricks. The trees are spreading in nature. Banarsi, the fruits are large in size, flattened, oblong with the smooth skin, yellowish with characteristic 3 rice segments. On an average, each fruit weighing 38 gram. It is shy bearer. Trees are having upright growth habit. Krishna Narendra 4, a chance seedling of Banarsi developed at Naren Dev Agriculture University, Faizabad, with a medium to large size 40 gram, conical, angular, smooth, yellowish fruit with the red blush on the exposed surface. Kanchan Narendra 5, it is supposed to be the chance seedling of Chakaiya, a profuse bearer with the small to medium sized fruit 32 gram, flattened oblong, skin is smooth, yellowish in color. BSR1, it was developed at Agriculture Research Station, Bhavani Sagar of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Tamil Nadu. Propagation, seed propagation, which has been in practice has given lot of variation in the progenies. Hence, vegetative propagation was resorted to building using 1 year old rootstock through T and seed method of propagation or patch method is successful. And situ budding will be better than budding in nursery and transplanting the budding plant. To rise rootstock seedlings from fully ripe mechanically or by the drying in the sun, and seeds are extracted. Field preparation and planting. After the deep and throughout flying pits of 1 cubic meter size can be dug at the spacing of 9 to 9 meters during May to June and fill up with the 10 to 15 kg of FIM. The budded plant or seedlings for in situ budding, especially in the dry areas, can be planted at the onset monsoon rains. Training, pruning, intercultivation and irrigation of the Aonla in training the trees, initially all the rootstock sprout should be nipped off then and there. The growth of sign should be trained to develop a low-headed one. At about 75 cm to 1 meter height, the first 2 main lateral are allowed to grow cut. Manure and fertilizer. At the end of first year, 20 kg FIM, 30 gram nitrogen should be applied. An additional quantity of 30 gram of nitrogen should be added every year as the tree grows. For bearing trees, 800 gram nitrogen, 640 gram phosphorus, 750 gram KTO should be applied along with 30 to 40 kg of FIM every year during the rainy season. Common insect pest in Amla is aphid, Staphylos bonganicilla, whitefly, Trileurodes rara, bug Scutellera, nobilis leaf roller, Calliopetra acidula. Plant production of in Amla bark borer makes tunnel along the bark. This can be controlled by injecting kerosene oil in the holes and plugging with cotton and clay during the September to October and February to March and spraying with the phosphomidone 0.3% shoot gall maker can be controlled by pruning the affected shoot and spraying 0.1% monocrotophos. A Amla rust can be controlled by spraying dithen Z78 and M45 at the rate of 0.2%. Blue molds develop water-soaked lesions on the fruit, which is ultimately covered by the bluish-green pustules. The can be checked by weak solution of the borax or sodium chloride. Harvest and yield. The tree will starting yields from 8 to 10 years after planting. Grafted or budded plant will yield from 5 years or 6 years. The average yield is about 150 kg per tree per year. So today we covered about the breeding of Amla. Our next lecture we will be studying about the breeding of jackfruit. Keep learning, keep growing. See you next time.